Got to see this video. So farmers in Arkansas have gathered together and they're praying to God because Donald Trump is literally destroying their farms and there's nothing else they can do.
Farmers, in my opinion, dear Lord, and it's only my opinion, are closer to thee than anyone else on this earth because we deal with your earth every day. Dear Lord, we're hurting, dear Lord. We can't help what's happened to us.
It's so sad. These farmers are having their entire livelihoods destroyed by a billionaire who doesn't care about anything but making himself richer. Under the Trump administration, multiple different programs set up by Biden to help support small and regional farming have been froze or cut. For example, the USDA's Regional Food Business Centers program. It was meant to boost local supply chains through grants and support, and now it's been terminated. Farmers who were approved for this funding and expecting to get it still have not got their money. They've been left stranded. The Trump administration has cut over 600 USDA grants. These programs benefited farmers, sustainable agriculture, and food security. Organizations across rural America lost funding, forcing them to lay off staff and abandon projects. All of this funding has been cut while the big beautiful bill boosted crop insurance and subsidy payouts, of course benefiting larger industrial farms and hurting the small farms. Put all of that together and it's no wonder Arkansas farmers are praying. They've not just lost support, they've been set up to fail. You guys have got to see this video.
Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or Chakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and you just saw there this guy going into these Arkansas farmers having a prayer circle because they are hurting. They're not getting their subsidies from the government that they usually get, and they are in a state of mourning. They're lamenting about their farms. And it's not just Arkansas. Just saw where Nebraska, because of these immigration policies, they don't have enough migrant workers or just workers to gather the fruits of the field. And they were talking about how they could be their government could be shutting down because of this very soon. And so this isn't just an isolated incident. This is farmers across America that this is happening to. And this is not sad. It's not sad at all. This is judgment. This is going to bring larger judgments as well, like the famine that you hear about all throughout the scriptures. These are these plagues, the plagues coming onto Egypt again. They're coming and they will not slack. They're not going to turn away because these people, the Edomites, so-called white people, somebody who resembles the guy on the screen currently, including those small hatters, can't ever forget them because they're the driving force behind this, the elite of them. But these so-called white people and small hatters are the Edomites, the biblical Edomites. And they had the biblical Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, in captivity and treated them extremely poorly. And as the scripts say, especially in Obadiah, it says, as thou hast done, it shall be done. And so everything that they've put out is about to come back onto them. They are about to suffer for what they've done to the Israelites and them touching the Bible. They've committed mass amounts of blasphemy with them touching the Bible. Now everybody believes that everybody could be saved when it's not true. It's just the elect of Israel that can be saved, just 1/3 of Israel. It's about a bloodline. And the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, so we are going to come back looking like all the other nations, including like the individual on the screen. I lost my train of thought, but the Israelites are about to be delivered, and these people are about to be destroyed. That's the point of it. They're about to be destroyed. These plagues are coming upon them, and they are not going to slack. And so coming off of that, let's go to the scripts because this is the first thing I thought about. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 13. It says, "They that till the ground shall mourn." These farmers are in a state of mourning. They're the ones that till the ground. They might have these other migrant workers to help them, or these so-called legals whose land it really belonged to, helping them to till the ground. But the ones that are the reaper is the one that's really reaping the benefits of all this. But as it says, the plowman shall overtake the reaper. We're coming into the changing of powers. We're watching a power transition currently. And so these guys are mourning. It says, "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation." And you normally think of this as natural disasters, or the Lord bringing natural disasters onto this, but this is coming from their own policy. They literally voted against themselves with putting DJ Trump into office. They knew that he was going to go after the migrants. They knew that he was going to go after certain spending programs so they're not getting their subsidies for their seeds and for the upkeep of their land. They knew this was going to happen. They didn't think it was going to affect them, but they knew this was going to happen, and they voted against themselves. Because when it comes down to it, the Edomites are a destructive force, and really they're going to destroy their own selves, ultimately through the nuclear missiles. They created these missiles, but it's going to be the same object that's going to destroy them. They're about to be destroyed. And even as I said earlier, the Lord's coming down with these plagues of Egypt. Jumping up to verse 11, it says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand," this is the Israelites, the elect of Israel, "and a stretched out arm," because the first time he saved the whole nation, but this time it's just 1/3 that he's saving. "And smite Egypt with plagues." Egypt is not talking about ancient Egypt, the land of Egypt over there in the land of Ham in Africa. He's talking about America. Kingdoms are reincarnated. He says, "And smite Egypt," which the Egypt's going into the captivity, the bondage which the Israelites served, just like they served here in America. It goes by many different names, like Egypt, Sodom, Babylon, so on and so forth. But it's speaking of America prophetically. "Smite Egypt with plagues." So we know about the plagues that were inflicted onto Egypt in the first Exodus, but we're coming up to the second Exodus, and more plagues are coming on to this modern Egypt. It says as before, "And will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn," these farmers, "for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation." And so I looked up that word blasting, and the first spot it came up, here, let's even go back into it again. Blasting, first spot it comes up is in Deuteronomy 28:22. And it says, "The Lord, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with a burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish." These are the curses that came onto the Israelites. And it goes from verse 15 on down to 68. All the curses. Before that's the blessings, but these are the curses. But blasting, which is Strong's H7711, which is Shadapa, which means blighted or blasted thing, blighted, Slovakia, a blight of crops. And we all know about the Great Blight in Ireland, where the potatoes, basically.
You've never heard of Whatnot before, they're an app where you can buy, sell, and even auction off your own collectibles. And if you've never checked out the app before, you should definitely go through my link in the description down below to get $15 off your first purchase of literally anything you want. I am on there all the time finishing off collections and finding weird figures you can't just go to the store and buy. And so anyways, if you're thinking of picking up some figures for your collection, I definitely recommend checking Whatnot to see if they have it. But anyways, let's get into this because we only have, 28 minutes till this challenge is done. Okay, everybody, we've made it to the app. And now the first thing that we should do is just type in Avengers Funko and see what comes up. Alrighty, so here are some of the streams, and this is exciting because it looks like Savage Pops is live right now, and he's someone that I buy from all the time. And if it comes up right away, there should be some Avengers there. But before we get into that, let's check out the products and see what we have available here. Okay, so we've got some Avengers Age of Ultron. What else do we have here? Thanos. There's a lot. And now scrolling down a little bit more. Okay, check this out, everybody. We have the Captain America Avengers near mint for 100. This here is the original set of Avengers Funko Pops that released in 2012, and I'm going to be giving myself 30 minutes to complete that collection. It's not going to be an easy task, that's for sure, and the only one I have in my collection at the moment is this Thor. I picked him up a few years ago, and it's so weird how they looked back then. It's like definitely a pop, but you can tell it was early on. And now to show you again, the goal is to find Captain America, Iron Man, Nick Fury, and Hulk, all within the span of half an hour. And I'm sure you're wondering, how am I going to be able to do this? Well, we're going to be doing it all on Whatnot, who's also the sponsor of today's video. If you've never heard of Whatnot before, they're an app where you can buy, sell, and even auction off your own collectibles. And if you've never checked out the app before, you should definitely go through my link in the description down below to get $15 off your first purchase of literally anything you want. I am on there all the time finishing off collections and finding weird figures you can't just go to the store and buy. And so anyways, if you're thinking of picking up some figures for your collection, I definitely recommend checking Whatnot to see if they have it. But anyways, let's get into this because we only have 28 minutes till this challenge is done. Okay, everybody, we've made it to the app. And now the first thing that we should do is just type in Avengers.
People that need no power within the earth. These are servants that are in a high position now. The Lord lifted up the basis of men. And we are seeing this great example occur of how not to be. It says, compare slang blighter, urban blight, a condition of disrepair and poverty in a previously thriving part of a city, is attested. But blight, the verb, this is actually where I wanted to be. This is afflict with blight, caused to wither or decay. And we are watching the decay of America. We're watching the decay of the Edomites and of the other heathen nations. They're decaying. As it says in Isaiah 14, it says, the worm is spread under thee. Let's just get it. Yeah, Isaiah 14 and 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. All this pride. They're all proud to be American. They are not saying that anymore. You don't hear anyone saying that anymore. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. It's about to completely disappear. It's about to be buried. And the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee. That is showing decay. It's there. It's ready for you. And the worms cover thee. You are in a decaying state. You are falling. You are losing power. You Edomites, so-called white people, and you small hatters. Your power is waning. You are about to fall. You're falling. And spiritual that brought looking up that word for blasting within the scripts. It brought first one that comes up here in Deuteronomy 28 and 22, because these curses are about to fall on you, as it says, Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies. If you go to Psalms 83, all of the nations are our enemies, but especially Esau, Edom. It starts with them, so-called white people and small hatters. The Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So these curses are falling onto them. Some of that is the blasting. And look, you see it right here, jumping back to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 18. It says, curse shall be the fruit of thy body, so their children. And you have a birth issue. Your birth rates are in the decline. And a lot of that goes into your policy. You liberated women, you dummies. Cursed be the fruit of thy body, not to mention all these other diseases, because we're in a failed state. We're in an upside down world. Our food's not even healing us, nourishing us. It's not nourishment. It's actually making us sick. So everything is in a cursed state now because of the Edomites. But of course the Israelites are still under this. But this is falling onto you, Esau, Edom. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. That's what these farmers are complaining about, that it's not coming up like it used to, that they're not benefiting like they used to from the land, from farming. It says the increase of thy kine and the flocks of thy sheep. You're about to get your land might get taken back because you might not be able to pay for it. And this is all going to lead into famine. These other plagues are coming. Even going back to 2 Ezra 15, it went into they that till the ground, and then eventually, a couple verses later, it starts going into how they're not going to regard their kings or princes. We're going to get into such a low state that there's going to be complete chaos and just riots and uprisings going on everywhere across the U.S. We're coming into the time of Jacob's trouble, and with that, it becomes Esau's trouble, because everything's about to turn onto them. This is their downfall. It's the downfall of America. It's the downfall of the West in general, and the downfall of all these heathen nations. The time of the Gentiles is coming to an end. And we can see it in just this microcosm of looking at the farms. You can see it in other places as well, but we're just looking at the farms right now. And they that till the ground are in mourning. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakach, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.